Hello guys, welcome to the latest episode of Every Platform, and welcome today back to Lancashire. We're on the East Lancashire line today, and the first station we're at today is Bamber Bridge, located on the branch. This station has two platforms, double track. Not the whole line isn't double tracked actually, so that's going to be interesting to see some single platform stations, as well as 3 request stops, which is going to be quite cool. It's purely served by Northern on their services between Preston and Colne, which is where we're going. There is another branch line which runs over to Clitheroe, but we're not doing that one today. It is just Preston to Colne, so doing all 16 stations that run in between, mostly 16 I think it is. This is the first one. So talk about the station in just a moment. As you can see just outside, it's got a really funny framework right by the signal box, which is quite fascinating to be honest. It's got a level crossing right outside, leads straight into the town centre, and as you can tell it's full of rubbish on the other platform, so great. So it's hourly service here, Preston to Colne. There are other trains that pass through. I believe the York to Blackpool North services come through here as well. So yes, that's quite interesting. So if you do wish to check out any updates on trips and posts, please do check out my Facebook group. Also check out my Instagram at KTVvids for story updates. So without further ado, let's begin today's episode of Every Platform here in East Lancashire with Bamber Bridge. Update you soon. So as I said earlier, welcome to Bamber Bridge station. Interestingly enough, the first thing you notice is this signal box, which has got this very interesting framework on it. But I've just heard the reason that it's like this is to help keep up the signal box. So basically, if they take this down, that signal box falls down. It is very structurally unsound. That is fun, but
it does literally look like they've just cut a hole in this row of houses for the railways.
Indeed. That voice, by the way, is Jasper.
Hello.
He's with us today. So yes, and we've got Chris as well. So it'll be 3 of us today. So let's head off. And also right outside is the South Ribble Pensioners Association. So my good friend Kat Marbacks, if you're watching this, welcome home.
Does that not include you as well? Should you not also be in there?
I should not, no.
No, I think
I am well into my prime. So
someone had some pigs there.
yes, very lots of rubbish on here. Update you shortly. Forgot to mention a couple of facts about the station itself as well. So it serves the village of Bamber Bridge in Lancashire, situated on the East Lancashire line, obviously. The westbound platform, the station building built in 1846 survived, but is no longer used as part of the station, which is basically that the Pensioners Association building that I just showed. That is the old station building that survived, opened in 1846, or built in that year. It's a drop-in centre basically, that's what it is for pensioners. The waiting room on the eastbound platform and the old pedestrian subway linking the 2 platforms have both been removed as well. Also, Bamber Bridge may not strictly be a one-street village, but each train to pass through stops all the traffic that basically accesses the town, or the village, sorry. So you cannot get any, to get to the village you can only go one way in and one way out, which is this. And if a train comes along and the level crossing goes down, you're cut off. That's basically what it is. So yeah, one of those interesting facts that, yeah, so it cuts across the main road completely. So a very inconveniently placed level crossing, but a level crossing it is, and kind of has to be there. Anyway, our next station is Lostock Hall. I'll update you soon. Okay, arriving in now is going to be the 0851 Northern service from Colne to Preston. This is going to be our train to take us to Lostock Hall. We've got 156466 on this one. Update you when we get there. Right, welcome to Lostock Hall. I'm going to update you in a second. Right, welcome to Lostock Hall station, serving the village of Lostock Hall in the South Ribble borough of Lancashire. By the early 1980s, this station was actually put under local pressure to actually open, because the station didn't open until 1984. So yes, the station was a fairly newer one in comparison to some of the others. It had financial backing from the Lancashire County Council as well, and since then the station has been open, so they've not had to change their mind on anything, which is good. There are 2 additional northern services between Blackpool North and York that do call here at peak times, but only at peak times, so they don't call here at any other point. There are also direct bus services that run here between here and Chorley, Leyland and Preston and beyond, and they come actually through outside the station, so that's really handy. As for the station sign, it's in a bit of a state, so much so that you can actually see Northern's Serco logo literally on there, because you just see it painted over it. And what I also like is they've got a bit of a thing underneath it that says a warm welcome to Lostock Hall. They had this at Bamber Bridge as well, which is really cool. So yeah, right, that is Lostock Hall done. See what comes through. The station itself is basically, like you can tell, is wooden fenced all the way pretty much around as well. So yeah, this station is yeah, quite nice. I like it. So with Lostock Hall done, the next station we're going to is our first request stop of the day, and that is Pleasington. I'll update you soon. Right, arriving in now is the 0931 Northern service to Colne. We've got 156416 on this one. And we're going to head to Pleasington. Update you soon. Okay, we made it to Pleasington, station 3 of the day. 156416 is heading out. Update you in just a moment. Okay, just whilst we're here, arriving in is the return journey to Preston, which is formed of a 150-1. It's 150 101. Is it going to carry on? It's gonna stop. Alright, 150-101's heading out. That's heading off to Preston from Colne. Right, welcome to Pleasington Station. This station is a request stop on the East Lancashire line, one of 3 request stops on the line. The station serves the village of Pleasington, which also has no transport links. The nearest place with a transport link is 15 minutes down the road in a place called Fenniscoles, which is where the hotline, which is 152 between Burnley and Preston runs, and also the 2 between Chorley and Preston. Burnley and Preston? Sorry. Yeah, it is Burnley and Preston. Sorry, and Chorley and Blackburn. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going mad. I was right about the first one though. This station did get a refurbishment, £2,000 worth valued refurbishment, which you can tell has been done. Obviously, things have been planted everywhere, lots of vegetation. It's really nice. really well looked after station for a request stop. It's very impressive. It was funded by the local authority and the East Lancashire Community Rail Partnership, so they helped fund this. That's all really good. And it was from 2012 that the station became a request stop. So before that it was a mandatory call, but from 2012, due to the passenger numbers, they let this one be a request stop. So yes, as you can tell, short platforms, has been extended a little bit. Obviously the gap between the train and the platform is massive here as well. We just got off the train, it was a huge step down, so that's good fun. And as you can tell, the station sign has also been done up as well. Very nice looking. So yes, that is Pleasington Station. It also sounds like a lord's name, Lord Pleasington, but it's not named after any sort of lord or anything like that. So yes, we're going to be here for an hour. We're actually waiting for the next northern service to take us to Cherry Tree, the next station. We'll update you soon. Alright, passing through now, we've got a northern service from Blackpool North to York, formed of a 195. (195) heading through. So yeah, it is worth noting they do come through here as well, but non-stop. Something quite interesting about this station as well at Pleasington is, if you look on the board here, it actually says all the wildlife you can see. And then obviously behind the station, so if you walk around here, if you walk sort of just up here, you're in like a little area where you can actually see all this stuff. There's not, it's just a little like area for when you're waiting. You can come in here and just look around, and then apparently all the things you can see, including a cat, apparently, station cat, and a mouse. But I don't know how true the mouse is, but the cat, I don't reckon the cat's eating it. But yeah, so you can see all sorts of different types of birds. So if you're a bird watcher, definitely this little station's nice for it. But yeah, it's just a little wildlife area that they've obviously looked after and maintained, and yeah, pretty cool. Thought I'd show you it, because I don't think I've seen a station that's had that before. They've actually had a designated sort of wildlife area where you can go and look to see what you can spot. But yeah, anyway, so update you shortly. Waiting for our train now. Okay, arriving now is going to be the 1041 northern service to Colne, which we're going to be taking to Cherry Tree. It is going to be 156466 again. So that's one of the 3 request stops on this branch line done. Update you shortly. Right, we've now reached Cherry Tree Station. Off goes 156466 heading to Colne. Here we are at the next station on the line, Cherry Tree, and we'll update you in just a second. Okay, welcome to Cherry Tree. Another very artistic station sign here. Seem to really look after their stations on this line, which is nice. So this station serves Cherry Tree in the Blackburn with Darwen borough of Lancashire. This is situated on the A674 road for Blackburn and was opened soon after the Blackburn to Preston line. So this one opened pretty close after. In 1847 this opened. The former Lancashire Union Railway branch line to Chorley, Wigan and St Helens, the station name was called Shaw Street in St Helens, which opened in 1869. It diverged a short distance to the west of Cherry Tree, so it was a former junction for a branch line, which closed in 1960 and completely in 1966. When I say completely, it includes freight as well. All of its station buildings have been demolished. The western end of each platform is now used. The rest of the platform, as you can see, is derelict past that bridge. And yeah, like some of the other stations, it's had a Community Rail Lancashire refurbishment and local authority sponsored clean-up and repair project, which were carried out in 2014. But it still looks nice, that's the thing. So this station has, yeah, really been looked after. I'm glad that the Lancashire Rail partnerships are actually looking after these railway stations. It's really, really good. Right, Cherry Tree done. Next up is Mill Hill, and we will update you when we get there. We are going to get our first bus of the day from here as well. Right, we've got another 195 to York coming through, 195, 116. And that one goes, heading through to York. Right, off we go to Mill Hill. And no, it's not Mill Hill Broadway, it's Mill Hill Lancashire. We're not in London. Okay, now on board a P7RLE Right Eclipse Urban, heading off to Mill Hill. Is operated by Blackburn Bus Company, owned by Transdev. We'll update you when we get over to Mill Hill. Right, there goes the Urban, Right Eclipse Urban. We're now here at Mill Hill Station. Update you shortly. Right, welcome to Mill Hill Station. That serves the Blackburn with Darwin Borough and the area of Mill Hill that's within it. It's about 1.25 miles from Blackburn, so we're really close to Blackburn now. It's opened by the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway in 1884, so again opened a little bit after, well, quite about 40 odd years after the line actually opened. It's no step-free disabled access. This station is a big island platform with a set of stairs up at the very end, so it's one of those stations that does not have any sort of step-free access. It's not a very useful one to use if you are unable to use steps, if you're disabled in any way. That doesn't allow you to get up steps. Try to put that in the politest way possible. The street level above, there are also direct bus services to Blackburn town centre, which we just got off of, so the 4 basically. As for the station, there isn't actually much else. It is basically your suburban Blackburn station. That basically is what this is, but it is quite fascinating in the sense that it is just a big island platform with a big set of stairs up at the end. So yes. Right, the next clip we're going to show is actually going to be a bus clip, because we've got something turning up in just a moment, which I think anyone who knows buses will be quite fascinated to see. Update in a second. Okay, here's the bus I was talking about. It is a B10 BLE Right Renown. It's an O2 plate. These are very hard to find. They are really lovely. You hear it go now. Just outside Mill Hill Station we are at the moment, still. They're lovely. So they are being retired from Blackburn very, very, very soon, because they are bringing in street lights. Because great. I mean, yeah, fair enough, we've got to do it, but street lights generally. Anyway, let's head to get our train. Right, arriving in now is the delayed 11:39 Northern service to Preston, which is 156-416. This isn't our train, it just happens to turn up whilst we were waiting. And if we turn around, on comes the 11:47 Northern service to Colne, which is our train, and it is a return of 150-101.
156 noises.
Yes, wait for 150 noises.
They're even worse. Yeah, they are.
150-101. I don't miss you from Great Western Railway days. I really don't. But you're here anyway. I don't miss any of them. Update you soon. Okay, we've now reached Blackburn station. Departing out now is 150-101, heading out on the 11:50 service to Colne from Preston. Right, so this station is Blackburn. This is a central station in the town, so we're actually in Blackburn's town centre now. Completely interlinked with Blackburn's interchange, and the bus station being about a 5-minute walk, which you will see in the video very shortly, because we are heading there. As for the station itself, we'll talk about it in just a moment. Right, Blackburn station. The station is currently served by 2 lines. One line runs north-south, compromising the reopened Ribble Valley line, which goes over to Clitheroe from here. In the north, the Clitheroe trains, where do they normally come from? I think it's Rochdale they normally come from, but I could be right. I think it's Rochdale they come from. Chris, you'd know. Clitheroe trains, I'm sure they come from Rochdale.
Yeah, Rochdale.
Rochdale Clitheroe, I think it is. Yeah, it's Rochdale Clitheroe, so that's where they come from. Whilst the Colne ones, which is the East Lancashire line, go from Preston. So yes. So the station is well connected with public transport in Blackburn, as we know, with the Blackburn Boulevard bus station, which is actually the former bus station. Recently closed and moved to the old market site, which is where the new bus station is. And outside the station, there is actually quite a few paintings that actually represent famous people who've been here. What we'll do, we'll talk about that in just a moment, because it's quite a fascinating little subway that leads outside the station. Also, the Blackpool North York trains call here, as well as a intermediate stop on the way. So yes. So as you see when you head out of Blackburn, this is the outside, the subway that leads sort of outside the station. They've got a lot of history here, but it looks like the station building's actually been refurbished really nicely, as you can tell. The subway leading in isn't as nice, but obviously they've got quite a lot. It feels like a really big sort of concourse, because they've got a subway here as well, which is quite interesting. It's actually built into the railway station. So outside here is
4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes. So outside here is the Blackburn bus interchange, which is for the railway station. The bus station is a couple of minutes, well, probably about a minute away, but we're going to get a Bright Renown, which is due soon, round to it. So yes, but that's Blackburn station anyway. We'll be back here later anyway. But yeah, that's Blackburn. Update you soon. Bright Renown now. We're only taking us around the corner, but still, they're Right, so we're approaching and we'll update you in just a moment.
We'll just wait for the next one.
Right, so now at Blackburn bus station. Here it is. Been here before actually, funnily enough, on just a day trip, and we were here yesterday as well. Me and Jasper were here yesterday. We were getting around on longer distance journeys, which was really nice. So as you can see, it's quite a refurbished bus station. This is brand new, opened in 2016. Yeah, so it's got, I think, 14 bays. And Blackburn Bus Company, Transdev, one big company to run out of here, as are Preston Bus, Stagecoach, and independently owned Blackburn Private Hire, and also independently owned Moving People, who operate a Scania Fencer. So yes, they all operate out of here. Also Pilkington Bus, actually, worth noting, they run a service out of here too. So yes, plenty of operators, and a very big bus station, which is, yeah, sort of stands out really nicely in the town. So anyway, so this is it. We're going to head over to our next station, which is Accrington, and we'll update you soon. Right, we're now on Nocte Versa heading off. So we're now heading off to the next station, Church and Oswald Twistle. We're now here in Oswald Twistle, and now is the Versa. Heading on the 7 to Accrington from Blackburn, and we are now in Oswald Twistle. We're now going to head to Church and Oswald Twistle station, which I did say we were going to Accrington, that's how it was later on. Church and Oswald Twistle is next, we'll update you soon. Right, welcome to Church and Oswald Twistle station. That is how you say it, by the way. It does sound like a house in Harry Potter, but it's not, it's a railway station. Also, just to note, the station sign has a First logo.
Bloody hell.
Goodness me, that is an old one. That would have been First North Western, I reckon. Yeah. Goodness me, that is a dated station sign and a half. Anyway, so murky subway done, because it is a little bit. We'll go up to the platform and we'll update you there. Ticket machine on platform 1. I wonder where it is. Anyway, update you soon. So, welcome to Church and Oswald Twistle station. That is such a tongue twister. It serves both the village of Church and the town of Oswald Twistle. Situated in the middle of Church's suburban streets. This is basically where it is. So, we're actually in the village of Church at the moment. The station had fallen into massive disrepair and was modernised in 2005, so has had an upgrade since then. It's obviously been looked after, upgraded a little bit more since then as well. Platforms are linked by a subway, but only the Preston bound platform, which is that one there, has step-free access out of that green gate over there, right at the far end, I believe. The local Church and Oswald Twistle Rotary Club have adopted the station as one of their projects and regularly work to improve the station and its environment by cleaning the garden areas and maintaining it. So again, another very well community driven station. And yeah, that is basically the station. There was a situation here, and this line has been a bit unfortunate for incidents. And it was in 2010, apparently a man laid on the tracks and was hit by a train. Not very nice, but it did happen here, as did it again in 2011, and again later on in 2011 someone was apprehended here for it. So goodness me, there's a lot that's happened here. Obviously that sort of stuff is absolutely horrible, and no one should ever have to be in that situation to resort to that. But it's just I'm just gobsmacked by the fact that it's happened so much here. just in this one place. So yeah, sounds like a little, unfortunately, maybe not so much now, but maybe was a bit of a hot spot for it. So anyway, so that is the station. Our next station is Rishton. We'll update you soon. Right, coming through now is a passing northern service from Headbolt Lane to Blackburn. 15131. And 156422. Heading off to Blackburn. Right, arriving in is 15101. This is the next train we're getting. 1327 to Preston, which we're taking to Rishton. Update you soon. Okay, we now made it to Rishton. The final now is 15101. Here we are, a very short platform on Rishton. The reason is because on the Colne-bound platform it is one coach only.
One only?
Whilst here it's two coaches, but when you go towards Colne it's only one coach that fits. So yes,
so, one coach it is.
Good fun, is because look at the rest of the platform. Can't really alight on that, I mean, but you could, but I mean I don't think they want you to.
That looks like it could take a full 150.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
It looks like it can.
Anyway, right, I'll update you shortly. Okay, welcome to Rishton. The station is in the southern part of the town of Rishton. On the 19th of June 1848, a wooden single platform was opened by the East Lancashire Railway at a place where the Blackburn Road crosses the railway. But this was replaced by the current station, which we're at now, more convenient location at the end of Station Road, and it was reopened in 1852. So the original station only lasted a few years. Only parts of each platform are now used by passenger trains, as you can see, what I said earlier about that. Obviously this platform, it looks like the majority of the platform is used. They are linked by a pedestrian footbridge, and there are shelters on each platform obviously. And as the Preston bound platform is reached by the footbridge only, step-free access is limited to the Colne bound platform. So it's really weird. Church and Oswald-Twistle, it's the Preston bound platform that had step-free access only. Here it's the Colne bound platform that does, but obviously this platform you can only get across by the footbridge. What a useful bit of station design, eh?
That platform is also,
but he didn't really have that in mind. They didn't really have that in mind when he built these stations. So anyway, hopefully one day they improve that. I'm sure they will. If the Lancashire County Council have done a lot to this line already, I'm sure they can improve the access one time. We'll see. Update you soon. Right, arriving now is going to be the delayed 1355 northern service to Colne. This one's running 10 minutes late. It actually, in a tunnel just beyond the station, it stalled and stopped. But it's moving again. It's 156416.
456?
416, I said.
You said what, 456?
No, I did.
Yes.
156416, I said. I think Jasper's losing it, guys. Update you when we get to Accrington, our next stop. Right, we're now here at Accrington, and the part now is 156416, heading off to Colne. There that one goes. So welcome to Accrington. This is another one of the busiest stations on the line because it serves the town of Accrington in Lancashire, and we'll update you in just a moment. Okay, arriving in now is the slightly delayed 1412 northern service from York to Blackpool North, which calls here 195112. see this one go out in a minute. Right, I found out now it's going to be the 1412 Northern service from York to Blackpool North, under 195112. And we'll kill two birds with one stone here, because we'll also talk about Accrington and its facts. So that one goes. Next up for that one will be Blackburn, followed by Preston, and it'll go onwards to Blackpool North. Well, a couple other stops in between as well. Right, so Accrington. This station says the town of Accrington in Lancashire. The station has two side platforms, as you can tell, flanking the twin track railway line, which are either side. Former, anyway, doesn't run anymore. Other than three small shelters, there is no protection from the elements. This station is quite limited. There are small shelters on the platform, so it's pretty basic in that sense. The whole impression of the station is one of the basic halt station, but it actually isn't. It says a big town. It's one of the biggest towns in Lancashire, I reckon. Accrington is. So, in Lancashire that is, and I'm talking about towns, not cities. The station was formerly a major junction on the East Lancashire Railway, the line to Bury and Salford diverging southwards from that towards Blackburn and Preston at the western end, just before the impressive viaduct that carries the line over the town centre, which we will see hopefully in a minute. But that is Accrington station, and we are now going to head to our next station, which is going to be, I believe it's Huncote. We'll just double check. Accrington. It is Huncote. We'll update you soon. Right, here we are at Accrington bus station, and just arriving in is the X41, which goes into Manchester, which is operated by a B7RLA right Ops 2. We've also got an Optare Versa over there on the M1, which we're taking to Huncote. It's a Burnley bound bus though. Just as well as that, it's only, how many bays is it? I believe it's 9 altogether. It's a smaller bus station than some of the others. Served by pretty much all three of Transit's main Lancashire operations, so Blackburn Bus Company, Burnley Bus Company and Rosso as well, who operate the 464 to Rochdale, one of their only routes that they still have. So yes, yeah, so here's the bus station, quick shot. We're now going to head over to, oh my god, the seats on the X41 look lovely. I need to do that route sometime. Really want to do that route sometime, because I came here a little while ago and I did the X43, which is the which way, which runs between Burnley and Manchester. But yeah, so yeah, there's a couple of bays over here as well, so there's about 11 altogether roughly. So update you soon. Right, so viaduct I mentioned, here it is, this big one here. So this is the one that was originally built when the ELR obviously was made in the junction, but this one still exists and goes right over. Trains still cross it very regularly, so yeah, thought you'd have a quick look at the viaduct, just literally next to Accrington station. And yeah, so we are going to, very colourful isn't it, going to go to Huncote next. Press on board an Optare Versa now. By the Burnley Bus Company, it's part of Transdev as well. I'll update you. Yeah, I'll update you soon when we arrive. So we just got off the M1, which is to Burnley. And we are now here at Huncote, and we will talk about this station in just a moment. We've got about 10 minutes here, so not too long at all. Update you soon. In fact, don't even need to do that because we're literally here. Didn't even realise I thought it was a walk down, but it's right here. Good fun.
That gate sprung.
Yeah, it really does. So here is Huncote Station, right by a level crossing. That's about to go down. Update you soon. Right, welcome to Huncote. A quick little visit here. As you can tell, again, very well looked after station. This station was a request stop, not anymore. It was one between 2012 and 2013. So only for a year or so it became a request stop, and then enough passengers came here to make it not a request stop. The village's first station was opened in 1848 by the ELR. Slightly to the east, but it was relocated to the present site in 1902. So yes. A nearby power station and colliery were both served by the station and railway for many years, but that closed in 1968, and the power plant closed in 1984. The site is now a nature trail, but I don't even know where that is, to be honest. It does have a distinctive tall signal box, or did have that. It was once supervised to colliery sidings. When the line avoided closure when everything was re-signalled in the 70s. But it was finally closed and demolished in 2014, so yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. But it is near Huncote Industrial Estate, where pretty much that colliery and power plant would have been. But yes, that is the station itself. The most notable fact is that it was a former request stop, which you don't get much of, so that's pretty cool. Right, our next station we're going to head to on the plan, so we're here at Huncote, is Rose Grove. I'll update you soon. Right, arriving in now is the 1503 Northern service from Preston to Colne, which we're going to be taking to our next station, Rose Grove. We'll take it 1506, sorry, to Rose Grove. I said 1503, it's 06.
Same difference.
Yeah, 3 minutes later. 156466. It's taking us about 6 minutes along to Rose Grove, so you have to stop at Hapton on the way, which is a request stop, but we don't get off there yet, we're going there later. For now, we'll go to Rose Grove. I'll update you soon. Right, welcome to Rose Grove. 156466 is about to depart, heading off to Colne. We're now here at Rose Grove. This station is located on, well, we're near enough at the junction where the trains to, it is actually here, yeah it is. So the junction here is for the line to Colne. It actually junctions off here on its own little branch line, so you will be seeing some single platform stations very shortly. But for now, this is Rose Grove, and we'll talk about it in just a second. So as I say, this is Rose Grove. It serves the Rose Grove area in the west of Burnley and the nearby town of Padiham. So this is the nearest station to that. The main line buses usually go there. The M1 goes to Padiham. So it's served by both the Calder Vale line and the East Lancashire line. It was once the terminus of the Great Harwood Loop between Blackburn and Burnley via Great Harwood and Padiham. Padiham used to have a railway station as well. The station is now a junction station for both those lines, the Calder Vale and East Lancs, as I said. So it is the junction for it. During the, and this, here's a really interesting fact for you. During the mid to late 1980s, Rose Grove was the starting point for an intercity holiday maker train, which in 1989 was the 0650. And where did it go? Paignton. Believe it or not, Rose Grove to Paignton. Yes, that is the most odd journey ever, and it started here. And it went via Preston and Birmingham New Street. So yes, what an odd starting location, but maybe it was more important back then. I'm sure someone can enlighten me on that. Anyway, so that's that done. The next stop for us on the plan today is going to be Burnley Barracks, and we're getting a bus there. Update you soon. Right, we're on board a Optima Solar SR now, heading up to Burnley Barracks. Through number 158. Right, so we're now here at nearly at Burnley Barracks. And opposite Solo SR also goes a Burnley E200, which apparently is ex-Nottingham City Transport. So that's pretty interesting.
373.
Cool. Right, we're going to head to Burnley Barracks Station. It should be nearby. I'm going to update you shortly. Right, so this is Burnley Barracks. This station is located in the town of Burnley. It's on the outskirts. This station is half a mile west of Burnley Central, which is also on the line. The other station in the area is Burnley Manchester Road, but that one isn't directly served by this line. It's on a completely different line itself. It's one platform with only a basic shelter in place and no other buildings. It's just that shelter there. This station did become a request stop in 2012. New housing developments north of the M65 and linked to the station by a footbridge have recently seen the station get more used because it's got a new, like I say, housing development, so more people have been inclined to use Burnley Barracks, and also because people are buying the tickets to come here because there's a ticket that's called the Burnley Stations, which serves all three, so it makes it more convenient. Instead of needing to pay a cheaper fare just to go to Burnley Central, you can buy Burnley Stations and come here if you live near here, so that helps as well. Also, if anyone ever watched the 2016 documentary where comedian from, what was it Have I Got News For You, Paul Merton, he did a documentary on Channel 4 called Paul Merton's Secret Stations, and Burnley Barracks was one of them he came to. So I remember watching that documentary as well. It was really good, and Paul Merton's quite a funny guy anyway, but yeah, he did that documentary and Burnley Barracks featured in it, so yes. Also, another quick fact, should the link up between Burnley and Skipton reopen, Colne and Skipton, sorry, Burnley Barracks would close. At the moment though, that's not going to happen, so yes. Right, we shall wait for our train. Right, so you see the two people in the yellow hoodies ahead of me.
It's not yellow.
Okay, Chris has got a yellow hoodie. Jasper apparently hasn't, but he does. Anyway, arriving in is the 1608. They're flagging down, that's why I pointed it out. 1608 Northern Service to Preston, 156466. We're taking to the other request stop, which is Hapton. And then that'll be all three request stops on this area, on this line done. I'll take you when we get to Hapton. Right, we've now reached Hapton. Off goes 156466, heading out. Another request stop, that's all three done now, and we'll update you shortly. Right, passing through now is a 195 heading to York. It's 195112 again. So, as that one goes through, this station is Hapton, serving the village of Hapton. Again, pretty much all these stations are in Lancashire, so I might as well not say the county that they are in. This station, again, in 2012 was a request, or from 2012 onwards, was a request stop. Its passenger usage is actually quite a big drop, because a few years ago, well, about 10-15 years ago, it had a big 20% odd drop in passenger usage, but it has increased by more than 60% since. Random fact that came up because it's one of the railway stations in the UK that had the biggest drop in passenger usage in that period of time. So yeah, just in general, that doesn't include COVID, let's just say that, in a year, let's just say. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's 3 miles away from Burnley, and again, it's it's actually the Rose Grove's the junction, but this is just one of those little intermediate stations that, just a handy little place. But it is the third and final request stop that we've done. Right, next up for us is Burnley Central. I'll update when we get there. Right, we're now here in Burnley Town Centre, and this is the nearest stop, St James's Street, to Burnley Central Station. Another Octave, so we just got off of on the M1 again. It's the second time we've used it and the last time we used it today. I'll update you shortly. Whew. Right, we've now made it to Burnley Central. Here we are. The building does not look very appealing at all, but it looks like this was built off an old estate. Genuinely does look it, doesn't it? Anyway, here we are. We head up these stairs. You see the one platform that's on here. I'll update you shortly. Right, welcome to Burnley Central. Station is the main station in the town. It's not actually the main in terms of the busiest, but it is the one that's closest to the town centre. Following the singling of the track in 1986, Burnley Central now only has one platform, as you can tell, together with a small ticket office which isn't open in that old estate building I mentioned. Waiting area and public address facility, obviously it's got that as normal. The station was rebuilt in 1965, which tells by the building now, with the ground floor at street level and the first floor at platform level, providing a booking hall, toilets, waiting room, station master's office, parcels office and a left luggage office. That's what that building was basically.
An office.
Immediately to the west, the line passes above the centre of the town on Bank Top Viaduct, which is just outside. We can see it as it heads towards Gallow Junction. Apologies for the music. I think someone is playing lots of 90s music as a takeaway place there. Update you shortly. Quick shot out here for you guys as well. This is Bank Top Viaduct, the one I mentioned, just at Burnley Central just there. This is it. It's massive. It's a really cool viaduct as well, and it stretches out very, very far, as you can tell. So very, very good. It's a quick shot of it, but that's what I was talking about, leads out to Gallow Junction. So yes, update you shortly when we're on the train to Nelson.
Yeah, and then we can take the same 156 to Colburn back.
Right, so arriving in now is 150-126. This is the 1719 Northern service to Colne, and it is 150-126. I'll update you shortly. Right, our next station wasn't Nelson. We've actually chosen to go to Briarfield next. As 150-126 makes its way out. This is Briarfield and it's right outside someone's house. What a station, with a dog looking at me. Wow. Okay, update shortly. So welcome to Briarfield. So it's the town of Briarfield in Lancashire. The signal box, which was built in 1876 and latterly only operated the level crossing, which is there, was abolished and dismantled again in 2014. And when the crossing was converted to automatic operation, which it is now. That crossing has always been there, but it was operated by a signal box before it was a level automatically done. It's actually controlled by Preston now, so yes. The box structure itself has been donated to a local arts organisation and is to be rebuilt nearby at Briarfield Mills. And there is an active rail user group here called the Friends of Briarfield Station. The line through the station has been single track since 1986, but the double track bed, that one there, and the disused down platform is still in place, as is the old station building, that one, which is now privately owned, with 3 dogs. So yes, there you go. And an elderly lady came outside and had a look, and just wondered what they were barking at. Brilliant. Oh, a little station like this is so cool, and they have unique little things like that. Right, next up we're going to get a B70L Gemini over to Nelson. I'll update you shortly. Right, off goes the B70L Gemini. It sounds like a Hoover, of course it does, because it's a B70L. Lovely. Anyway, here we are at, well, we're in Colne. We just took a little bit of a diversion because we wanted to get a B70L. We're heading into Nelson now to get the train between Nelson and Colne. Update you soon. Just a very quick shot. We're now here at Nelson Interchange. This is the other bus station we're visiting today. As you can see, it's quite quiet now because it's sort of dying down for the day. The only bus here at the moment is the M5, which is going to Burnley. That one is there. As you see, there's a few bays down. Usually it's Preston Bus and Transdev that come here. That's about it, really. I think Pilkington Bus might, but I know Preston Bus and Transdev are the main two. So yeah. Anyway, I'll update you shortly. We're going to head over to the station. Alright, welcome to Nelson Station. This is the one we're due next. This one is actually, funnily enough, built into the bus station, what's connected to it. Because there's Nelson Interchange, which we've just come out of, and here's Nelson Railway Station. So, this is the last station you reach before the terminus of Colne. And you walk up, it's got a very nice canopy that's above it. It's completely step-free, and it's on an island. So it's Mill Hill, but nicer. That's basically how you describe it. Yeah, so the next train is the 1828 Colne, which is our train. So we've got about 20 minutes here or so. It's due a few minutes late, so yeah, so I'll update you shortly. Okay, so Nelson Station itself, this is 2 miles away from Colne. The station was opened in 1849 by the East Lancashire Railway, which later became part of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, as Nelson Inn Marsden, which was named after the public house, or the pub, just across from the station. The station, as you have noticed, forms part of Nelson Interchange, which opened in 2008. Adjacent to the now disused eastbound platform, which is this one here. This one isn't used anymore. It's only the one platform. This one is out of use, but as you can see, Nelson Interchange is basically adjacent to it. But it's been converted into very nice flower beds, and it looks like it's been maintained very nicely, so which is pretty good. The station originally had an island platform configuration, but only the westbound face is now used, following the singling of the track towards Rosegrove. And it still has its original platform canopy, which is this here, and it looks fantastic, I will be honest. It's still staffed on a part-time basis, and it's obviously got a tourist information office, which Jasper has just collected a bunch of leaflets from.
That's one of my weird things, is collect the timetable.
Yes, good fun. And yeah, that is basically the station. It's a very fascinating little station, but yeah, there we go. Next up for us, and here's an interesting one. The station sign actually says Nelson Station. Not often do they have station next to them, so that's pretty cool. Right, final station is Colne. I'll update you shortly. Okay, arriving now is 156416 here at Nelson. This is the 1829 Northern service to Colne, and we're taking this to the terminus of Colne. I'll update you shortly. Right, welcome to Colne, the terminus. We have reached the terminus of East Lancashire line, and this is the final station we are visiting today. So, as you can tell, the 156 has turned its engine off. It has an 18-minute turnaround here, so we have got plenty of time today. Sometimes when we reach terminus points, I know that we rush, but I'm trying to, well, I'm trying to. Sometimes it's just the way it is if you want to do things. Anyway, so this station is close to Pendle Hill. The station, on Sundays as well, it's worth mentioning, these trains run through to Blackpool South. They don't actually terminate at Preston on Sunday. They do a through train to Blackpool, which really I thought they'd do that all week, but they don't. But it's because it interworks with the Ormskirk branch, so that's why. The old station here was demolished in 1971 after the line from Colne to Skipton closed, which they are protesting, trying to campaign to reopen, not protesting. Colne is in the unusual position of having been a western terminus between 1848 and 1849. It's also been a through station between 1849 and 1970, and an eastern terminus, which it is now. So it's been a western, a through, and an eastern terminus. So it's one of those very weird ones. The remainder of the branch from Gano Junction near Rosegrove to Nelson was reduced to single track in 1986, and so the entire line from there is now operated as a long, what's known as a long siding, with no intermediate passing loops, which does restrict the frequency of the service. So yes, there you have it. Update you shortly. Right, so that's Colne done. So that is the video done. Thank you all for watching today's episode of Every Platform from the East Lancashire line. If you have liked what you've seen, do like and subscribe, and do leave any comments because I will get back to them as and when I can. And any recommendations are welcomed as well. Thanks to Chris and Jasper for joining today. It's been an excellent day. The sun's been shining pretty much all day, and we've covered 17 stations today, which has been
A lot.
probably a record for a day, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with that, and we've done it very, very smoothly without any rushing, so I'm pretty happy. Next time you'll see, I'm not telling you. I'll see you next time on Every Platform, but for now, here from me at Colne, it's bye. Thanks for watching.